Hey, what's going on? It's Gene here with the Real Estate Wholesaler Stack in beautiful San Diego, California. And today I'm going to share with you three secrets that no one in their right mind who's knows Facebook ads for wholesalers or teaches them will ever share with you. All right, so we're going to share some really cool information that will show you the absolute power and potential of Facebook ads for your wholesaling business. And I know this because it's changed a ton of my clients' businesses and now my students who we just wrapped up a masterclass a week ago, and the results were amazing, but more about that later. But now let's get to these secrets, okay? Now, the reason why you might want to tune in for this is if you're a wholesaler who's trying to scale, right? Who's trying to really just take your business to the next level. And wholesaling is a lot about lead generation, having the right leads, right? Or cold prospecting, right? So it's kind of a balance of both. Cold prospecting, what I call active prospecting, and then what I call passive prospecting, right? I think I coined a little new term there. Passive prospecting is essentially you putting out a piece of prospecting material, okay, and having that material do the prospecting for you, okay? Now, if you think about this, who is the best prospecting person in your wholesaling business? Look, if you're a solopreneur, if you're just you're a wholesaler doing this on your own, that's pretty clear, right? That it's clearly that's just you. If you have a team of people doing prospecting with you, let's say you have a team of cold callers, something like that, you're still probably the best closer, the best person that can do this, right? And obviously people that are working with you are a little bit, they're always catching up to your level of your ability to actually prospect, qualify the seller, and actually get the house under contract. Now, the cool thing with advertising is that it allows you to do this prospecting passively, okay? Meaning that now a video of you can do the prospecting for you while you're doing other things and can touch thousands of people without you ever having to move a muscle, okay? Now, I've done this for a number of clients. I serve clients kind of all over the place. Some high-profile folks like Mr. Chris Rude, who's, by the way, is an amazing coach. If you're actually just starting to get in wholesaling, I highly recommend him to get your, just get to the next level of your mindset and your sales and actually knowing how to price a deal, all that stuff. Absolutely amazing. Now, like I said, this is probably for you if you're trying to level up your wholesaling, right? If you're just starting wholesaling, if you haven't had any single deal, if you have not closed the deal yet, it might not be perfect for you to start doing this now, okay? What I would recommend is, because any form of advertising actually requires money, right? And as long as you're okay with that, look, then it's probably for you, and you should listen into what I'm about to share with you. Now, if you're just starting, you're completely brand new to wholesaling, I would focus on other lead sources first. That way you're not spending a bunch of money up front, and then just prove to yourself your ability to close the deal, okay? Because your first deal kind of changes everything, and if you're not at your first deal, good luck. Keep hustling. It's out there. And the faster you move towards it, the closer it gets. But if you are somebody that's already closed a couple of deals, you close a few deals, maybe you close a steady stream, a few deals a month, you understand the power of getting motivated seller leads that are actually qualified to sell you their home. And that's what I'm about to show you, how to get those leads, okay? Now, the secret number one is essentially, if you go to any other wholesaler that's running Facebook ads, okay, and let's say you do it, let's say you go to like a local competitor, okay, and you'll see that they're adding some like ads of, let's say a house or a picture or whatever, right? And by the way, if you don't know how to do this, you can actually hack your wholesalers, your competitors' ads by simply going to the info and ads section of their page, of their business page, and actually check out what they're running. Now, we used to run these very, very simple ads when I first got started, and By the way, the way I got started in this business actually is I already had a business that was highly seasonal. Okay, it's a video business. I still have it. It's actually doing really well. We actually got it past to a point where it's seasonal. But I figured out that business is digital marketing and started getting leads on autopilot. And I was like, damn, this is super cool, because I can be back then I was working a 9 to 5, and I had my ads running, and I had really good SEO, and I was getting leads and business while working at a job, which is pretty cool. But then the seasons kind of changed, and we entered winter, and I was like, damn, I gotta pick up another business that's not as seasonal, right? And so I started looking at different things, different opportunities, and I started explored a few different things, and then I was kind of taking my time with it, right? But then what happened is there was a big change in what I was doing, and somebody in my family lost their full income, right? And I was like, damn, this is crazy, overnight, right? Something happened. It was a little accident, whatever, and something happened overnight, and I was like, shit, now I have to really level up and get my income, so in case I have to support those folks, then I would be there and be able to do that. And sometimes, it's very often when you kind of ask the universe, right, for something, you kind of it at least shows you a way, right? It doesn't give you what you want, but it shows you a way to get there. And that's when I bumped into one of those ads, right? It was actually an ad of Chris Rood being interviewed by Grant Cardone, and I got into, and I was like, wholesaling, that's interesting, because my other business had to do with real estate as well. We do immersive video tours there of real estate properties. It's like wholesaling, finding deals, that's really cool. That sounds really interesting. Let's check it out, right? And mind you, I already had all this digital marketing knowledge, so I got plugged into Chris Rood's community and started interacting. We were I was on every coaching call and all that stuff, and then I saw wow, all these guys are running around sticking bandit signs into the ground, and it was winter, and this is how they're getting leads. And I'm like, I grew a business, even though it was seasonal, I grew a business by sitting in my chair at my job, moonlighting from 9 to 5, and here they are doing this bandit sign business. So that's when it hit me. I'm like, what the hell am I even doing, trying to wholesale and do the same thing these guys are doing, right? Because obviously that's a brand new thing, right? It will take me longer to figure it out, because I'm a brand new entrant into that world, right? But to digital marketing, I wasn't new at all. I was like, dude. So there was a bunch of these guys and gals that needed help. And I was like, all right, we're gonna help you guys do ads with your wholesaling business, because it's an amazing community. Everybody's a freaking hustler. If you're a wholesaler, I work with a lot of wholesalers and I work with a lot of real estate agents. And look, the level of hustle that I see in wholesaling is, well, look, there's different realtors, there's different wholesalers, okay? But in general, wholesalers know a lot more about marketing. They care a lot more about marketing. They have to touch a lot more people to get their message out, to get the leads back, right? So that's what excites me, that it's much more marketing heavy, okay? And so I started serving these wholesalers, this community of wholesalers with Facebook ads. And at first, I started doing it for free, and I was like, hey, let me just help you, let's see and figure out how this works and all this stuff. And we were doing mostly image ads, okay? And that's why I have an image ad right here, because first thing that I'm going to share with you is which ads actually work the best, okay? So we're running these little image ads, and the cool thing with them was they would work pretty much right away and start getting some leads, but then the campaign would die, okay? And this was the first month of me helping these folks. The campaign would kind of die off, and it would be kind of frustrating, because obviously when you serve somebody, because I was serving folks for free, and I was like, all right, if it works, then we can figure out some money thing, right? But since it didn't, because it would go up, but then it would kind of nosedive, that was really, really frustrating, okay? So I was like, all right, all that probably means is that I gotta level up. There's something I gotta figure out. Okay, so I started consuming just like every single Facebook ads course because I was already decent, but because wholesaling is hard, right? Mind you, wholesaling Facebook ads is probably the hardest Facebook ads out of all ads, and that's why I love it, because it's really hard to figure out. Okay, so like it's really hard to enter it. If somebody tries it to do this on their own, it's usually pretty freaking painful. So there's a lot of potential for me to help folks, right? So consumed like every single freaking Facebook ads for Sam Owens, Dan Henry, all these like crazy, every single thing out there. Okay, and just kind of let it simmer in my mind, and I'm like looking at what we're doing. And then I pull out my phone, okay, and every time you scroll through your phone, like you see, every time you scroll on Facebook, you see that there's an ad about every 4 or 5 posts, okay? And so I started scrolling, and I'm just like, all right, scrolling by these ads, and then I would notice something. I noticed that every time it would be a video ad, I would actually stop and wait longer to figure out what the hell this thing's about than with image ads, okay? And something that I learned in all the freaking courses that I was consuming, and just like all this information, and I was calling like Facebook, I was just doing everything I could. Something I learned is that, and I'll share that with you in the third secret I'll expand upon it, is that when somebody engages with your ad, and what does engagement mean? It means like, heart, comment, or spend time. Okay, because Facebook wants you to spend time on the platform. The longer somebody watches your video, the better Facebook thinks your ad is, and the longer they will serve it. Okay, so that's when I was like, dude, what the hell are we doing? We are serving image ads, and we should be doing video ads. Okay, and so what I did, obviously with a video ad, it's a lot more difficult because you have to actually say stuff, okay? So I had a client at the time that we were doing, it wasn't, at that level I wasn't doing it for free anymore. I was kind of charging a little bit, probably like 4 times less than we charge for this stuff now. But we started figuring out this video ads, and we did one script, we did another script, and just really, you have to use like really best practices of copywriting in there, okay? And we put it on an ad, and it started producing. It started actually like producing consistently. It was about like $40 per lead, okay? And I was like, all right, this is sick. We're gonna do video ads only, okay? But then what happened was we actually started getting these leads that were not really always motivated. And I'm sure that if you're running image ads especially, or if you're running video ads that are not doing this the right way, you're probably going to notice the same thing, is that a lot of the leads that you're getting are like semi-motivated, okay? They're not really, they're just looking to like see what the hell you would offer them for a cash offer, okay? Which is absolutely not what you want, because hell, like, it's just a waste of your time. It's actually wasting more of your time than you're getting the time back, because they're not motivated, okay? And so then I bumped into Russell Brunson ad on YouTube, okay? And like this was right around the time when I was like trying to figure out like how do we improve the quality of these leads, okay? So I bumped into this ad on YouTube, and what it was like Russell was saying something like, hey, if you're just a marketer that's that just wants to make more money, like you can go ahead and skip this ad, and I'll see you later. And I'm like, dude, that's freaking brilliant. Like but then he's like, but if you actually want to like double your business, and you want to like learn how we like just completely blow up companies with funnels and all this stuff, then like keep watching, right? So he kind of just, and he didn't do it in the best way possible, I think, but I was like, I can do one better, right? Hey, it's okay. I mean, he's just a human. So I was like, all right, what we're gonna do in our video ads is we're going to actually start off our ads by disqualifying people that are not trying to sell their house fast. Okay, it's huge change. And guess what? So why don't I kind of paint for you what that means? So we would say something like, hey, if you're a homeowner that's trying to sell your house, and you're like, not in a hurry, you're trying to get like the most of money that you can for it, just go ahead and skip this ad and I'll see you later. All right, have a great day. All right, so we just took and wrapped up all of the freaking sellers that are not motivated to sell, and we pretty much told them to go and keep scrolling, okay? And once we started doing that, everything freaking changed. We still actually use the same script, it's a little modified, but the leads have been way higher quality. The cost per deal like halved, and we're getting leads consistently and pretty much on autopilot. So for me, if I see an ad and I'm like, hey, it's an image ad, and actually I broke down a few. When you join folks that join my class, I share with them like a swipe file of 100 pages of different ads, okay, that I just went and collected from around the country from some of the best wholesalers, and you'll see that most of them are image ads, okay? So while they're probably working, those guys are probably paying like 50, 70, sometimes I've even heard 100 per lead, okay? That's not even per deal. Of course that's not per deal, that's per lead, okay? So, and those leads, because they're not disqualifying folks, are not motivated. So they actually get on the phone and they have to spend time talking to these people that are not motivated. Now, when we have a video ad that disqualifies people that we don't want, Facebook actually notices that people hang out and watch this ad longer than they spend on this, and they actually push that ad in people's feeds higher, and getting what's a technical term in Facebook called relevance score, which all that means is like Facebook likes the way your ad looks, okay? And I'll talk about that in a second here. But if you think about Facebook ads, right, if you're scrolling through the Facebook feed, what's going to happen is some of the ads are going to be here way up top when your attention span is still pretty fresh, okay? And that is a huge difference, because Facebook actually decides whether they're going to put your ad up high, okay, into the feed when person's attention span is still long and their commitment to actually spend on the platform is longer. They're going to actually push it up. If they push it up, they're going to increase your chances of getting people to actually opt in for your stuff much more than if they send you way down to the bottom, and what your stuff is way down at the bottom when Facebook thinks that your ad is not great, is not relevant for your audience. So video ads versus image ads, we absolutely crushed it. Everything changed when we do video ads, and that's exactly why the only time we do image ads is for retargeting, okay? So now I started talking about this Facebook like pushes your stuff up or down, like they kind of judge you. They have this like thing in place that decides whether your ad is like even relevant or not, right? So what that is the Facebook algorithm, okay? And a lot of people kind of know that there's this algorithm that exists that kind of like pushes things up and down. So today I'm going to share with you a few things that you should know that probably 99% of people don't, especially wholesalers don't, because they're so busy just hustling and grinding all the time, that you need to know about Facebook ads that will actually push up your ads higher in people's feeds, okay? So first concept I want you to understand is what's called a relevance score, okay? And relevance score is not end all be all. I've had like ads that have relevance 10 score, underperform ads that have relevance 7 score, but it's really important. You want to get this thing at least where it's like more than 5 or 6, okay? And your relevance score is calculated by people's engagement with your ad, okay? So Facebook has a huge engagement bias, okay? And here's why. Because the Facebook algorithm, right, let's say it's this robot right here, right, with square eye and a square mouth and a square smile and straight hair. Facebook's algorithm is there to serve Facebook's executives and shareholders, okay? And these little shareholders right here. And of course, like Mr. Mark Zuckerberg. So the robot is serving these guys. And so what does he have to do? What does the algorithm have to do? The algorithm has to figure out how to have a careful balance between the people on the platform, okay, and between the advertisers on the platform, okay? And what does that mean? That means that, like, most Facebook is created not for ads, although it is created for ads, right? It's always like that with business. It's like it's both the service and the money, right? You can't have one without the other. So Facebook wants their users to always be entertained when they are on the platform. It's a very, very simple concept, right? So Facebook is always trying to make sure that the content on the platform that's entertaining is prioritized, okay? It's very, very simple. So it has to rank the content of businesses' ads, and mind you, they rank all content. If you make a live video and you're on the beach, and it's like there's music playing in the background, or you're laughing, you're smiling, there's like laughing in this in all that stuff, or if you put a picture of you at the beach, or if you put a picture of you in a rainy day, Facebook actually has a thing in the background that's scanning that photo, and it knows if it's blue sky, it knows if there's palms, like I have palms right here. That's why I'm doing quite a bit of content, because I know it will get prioritized on Facebook. Same thing with advertisers. But the thing is, the key thing that most people don't understand is that if you put a crappy piece of content, right, most of those freaking ads, that's like a little house, and it's a little ass house, and I don't know, lawn and a bandit sign in front of it or something. Like, if you do that, Facebook will see that it's a pretty boring piece of content. Most people scroll by it, okay, and it will end up lower and lower and lower in people's feeds, because this relevance score is going to keep going down, okay? So what do we try to do as advertisers? Is we create more engaging content, and that's why video ads completely changed everything, and we do them in a very specific way. We actually give our students and clients specific scripts to say. We give them like a teleprompter app and all that stuff, and we tell them where to actually go, what places to do this video in. It's a very, very specific process, and then we actually, of course, we show examples of how that stuff happens, okay? So that is the Facebook algorithm in a nutshell. And of course, I go into a deeper dive on as far as other biases that it has and how to actually make your ad perform better. But the crazy thing is that even if your ad sucks, Facebook will still take your money for it, okay? And the better your ad performs, actually, and here's another thing, it's like the rich get richer, right? If your ad is good and it's converting, the more people are actually opting in and telling you about their house, the more Facebook will know that this is a relevant experience for their audience, and their audience is actually opting in. They will actually promote your ad better, and your cost per lead is actually going to get cheaper the more you advertise, okay? It's pretty crazy, pretty cool. All right, so the third secret is, I want to actually share with you that a lot of this game, and it's just like with a bicycle, right? Think about a bicycle, and when you learn how to like ride it, right? It's a pretty cool bicycle right here. I'm glad the wheels are round and not square. But when you do a bicycle, right? Like, so the way my mother taught me at first is she was trying to teach me how to actually fall before I was even able to ride, right? So it's like, learn how to like fall and not fucking die first, okay? Like, learn how to fall and not completely eat shit. Like, how to like, and in any sport, not any sport, but a lot of sports, like, they teach you first how to actually fall down properly, okay? How to not like break all your stuff when you fall. And that's the same thing here with Facebook, and that's why I say it's a lot like football, because you have to have an arsenal of different plays, okay? So you have to have strategies. You have to have a strategy in your mind for when your ad actually dies, okay? Because that happens, and that happens quite a bit. I would be lying my ass off if I told you that the ads don't die. The ads campaign don't die for sometimes like no understandable reason. Sometimes we don't understand why it died, and that's okay, all right? Because that just life and shit happens, okay? So you have to have a playbook almost of different plays that of like what happens when my ad actually dies down, and like what do I do? Do I increase budget? Do I lower budget? Do I kill it and wait a few days? Do I duplicate it and run them both at the same time? Do I duplicate it and run it with like more budget now? Do I change the creative? Do I change the audience? What the hell do I do? There's so many different, like there's like 100 different choices you could take, okay? And that's why I like doing what I do right now, is like teaching folks how to do this. I like to do it in a live format, because then, you know, by week 3, when folks have all of their ads running, we all converge. And look, some folks will have like their ads performing, some folks will have their ads like kind of performing, and then some folks will have them like, it's like they never like took off, right? It's their first time doing it, right? So then we go and we analyze, and we go one by one, and I left some nice marker on that wall. That's awesome. And we actually explain and I explain like what is the play in that specific situation, because that empowers you to not only know how to set this up, but to also know how to react, how to bounce back when something doesn't go right. Which to me, handling failure in any kind of entrepreneurship, handling failure is more important than handling success. It's actually, handling success is easy. You go on fucking party. It's handling failure, knowing how to bounce back, is the more important thing, okay? So that is the secret number 3. Now, if you like this, if you want to learn more, we're actually having a masterclass in just like less than 72 hours actually, and what it is, it's a 5-week class where every week we meet for 2 hours, okay? 1.5 hours. We actually deliver content explanations and actually walk you through the setups. I share my screen and set all of that stuff with you, so you can actually go along, right? Or of course it's recorded, so if you can't make that night, next morning you can play it back and do it. Everybody gets an assignment, okay, for that specific week. So like the first assignment is going to be your funnel, okay? Second week is your video. Third week is your actual ad creation, right? Fourth week is your retargeting, okay? So we do these step by step as to make sure that everybody actually takes action, because in the online space, education and all that stuff, and probably colleges too, about 15% of people actually take action and get results. For me, that's terrible. So I was like, all right, we're gonna figure out the best way to do this. And our last class, which you can check out the testimonials at the link of folks that already took it, by third week, about 50 to 60% of people had their ads running, and then other folks were catching up. To me, that is just amazing results, and that's why we're sticking with this model, okay? So when you join today, we actually have a few bonuses for you. So not only will you get the 5-week masterclass, you will also get a training on how to use Instagram as a wholesaler, okay? Instagram for wholesalers. How to have the whole town bird dogging for you without you having to do much. Just spend like 5 minutes a day, okay? I'm also going to include a Google SEO, local SEO training, and just essentially how to, it's already a pre-recorded training. I actually usually sell it. So this thing is usually sold for $300. This one is sold for, I have my notes here, for $200. And also you will get a swipe file of other wholesalers' ads, and that is a product that I also sold for $200. You can go to the page right now and buy it. I'll also include 2 months access for our wholesaling ads mastermind, which is $77 per month usually. And if you join today, I'll also share with you my seller and my cash buyer funnels that convert higher than absolutely anything else in the industry. Okay, so the class starts on the dates that's going to be right here. It is actually like less than 72 hours. The exact time is actually on the link. You'll see it there. So I can't wait to have another set of amazing students in this class who want to learn and take action, because it's the most rewarding thing for me to actually see when people start running their ads, and especially when they run them like even faster than I even thought. Okay, by week 3 of 5 weeks, which was just absolutely crazy. So if you want to learn more about this, if you want to get in the next class and learn exactly how to get your campaign running, have it be running and producing motivated seller leads by the end of the class, I want to invite you to check it out right here, and I can't wait to see you in it. A bunch of folks are signing up right now. Like yesterday we had a few signups. It's still morning here right now because like people are procrastinating. Just be aware that the start date is a hard date. Once we start, you can't get into it anymore. Okay, so I can't wait to see you there. Let's roll and get your campaign and start passively prospecting for leads instead of hustling all the time. Have a freaking clone of yourself touching thousands of people every day and getting the leads that you deserve, taking them away from your competition who are not investing into their business like you are. All right, can't wait to see you in class.